And now, Gimmick Infringement.
Welcome, everybody, to the Gimmick Infringement Podcast. I am Brad Winchester, and with me, as always, is my tag team partner, Tyler McDowell Blanket. Tyler, it's late o'clock here on a Saturday night as we record this. Full Gear has ended. We're gearing up for, no pun intended, Survivor Series War Games. I got to make sure I have all of the elements in a row. This late night stuff's getting to me. How you doing tonight?
You pulled that off very well, my friend. Probably better than I could have, because you're right. It is our first late night recording.
It's been a minute.
In a minute. Dare I? I'm not even going to try. You know, my memory for these things it's just not strong whatsoever. So I won't even attempt to recall the last time we did this.
Plural years.
Yeah, for sure. But you are absolutely right. We are going to be talking AEW Full Gear since the show just ended. Of course, we have Survivor Series War Games this weekend. Stranger Things is coming back. We are on the precipice of Thanksgiving break, Brad Winchester. There's a lot to be grateful for, my friend. I'm feeling good. I'm excited to talk raps and pop culture with you. How you been?
Grateful. It's been a week. It's been a week. You and I both had to take a day to just kind of recover from the grind. And unfortunately, I had to take a second day when I woke up to my wall just clicking away. Now, in hindsight, I could have just gone to work. There was no danger. There was no threat to the house or anything like that. It was just a bad relay inside of the smart switch that I had on there. And it was fine. It was just going to continue to click and nothing would happen. But I didn't know that. Now in the future, I'm going to go, I'll do it later and I'm going to go to work. But I took the day off to go, like, I don't know what's going to happen to the house if I don't simply get this thing out of the wall. And then it ended up taking me like 4 hours. So, cause I had to go get a part, watch a lot of YouTube videos, do all of that. And it got done. And I was like, I don't feel like I accomplished a whole lot here today. I had this whole day off to fix this one problem. And by 12:30, the problem was fixed. Had I gone to work, I would have had 2 hours left of the day and I could have come home with all of my personal time intact. So I'm a little sad about that part, but I am grateful that I had it to begin with. So Thanksgiving is it's days away. And this year we are, as a family, because I haven't done this in years, because I don't like crowds at all. We're going to go Black Friday shopping, but like proper early morning Black Friday shopping. Yeah. Pray for me.
Production team, we need the breaking news banner for this one. Which stores are you going to hit up? Have you decided as a family?
Oh, no. I'm just anticipating I'll have a promo of the week for next week. I already know
I'm sure you
will. Going to film me in some store when I see the greed on display.
Are you going to be live tweeting? Can we turn this into a blog?
Oh, we should.
Can we turn this into a vlog?
No, this should absolutely happen. Yeah. I don't know what people do. People TikTok. Yeah. I have one of those. I got a new follower today that makes probably 3. I don't actually go on there.
Wow. A real follower or one of those Russian bots?
That's a great question by you. I don't know. I just saw one new follower on the little summer gimmick on Apple when my screen was locked. And I went, wow, that's interesting, because I've never posted anything ever. I have never made a single. I don't even know how to make a video. I have absolutely no idea. I got the app. So shut up, Mike Steph. When Mike sends us stuff from TikTok, I can actually see it. I got so sick of trying to watch stuff that I was like, I'm just going to get a friggin' account.
You must
so
download
I can
TikTok to watch the.
I was tired of it.
I was in the same exact position as you. And shout out to Mike Steph, same exact situation. And the app just became overwhelming for me. It's basically Times Square on your phone, and I just found it to be too much for me. Still love Mike, still love you, in fact, as my partner here. But my TikTok reign was I was there for a good time, not a long time, as it were. I was probably a user for maybe a month, and I just said, I just don't think this is for me.
I was on there trying to find a video I needed to find, because I was like, hey, I remember that video we saw. I can't find it. Let me look for it real quick. Sure. And it was the what song is that? I can't even remember the song. Come and Get Your Love. And it was like a take on it, but it was the Romans guarding Jesus's tomb.
Uh,
Have you seen this video?
I have not. It
It's
sounds
it's they're
very
standing outside
interesting.
guarding, go burr, 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 and the hey, and then the hey comes from the tomb, inside the tomb, the second hey, and then it just ends with the Roman going, what? And that's it.
And it
Like
was
it
TikTok
cuts off there.
exclusive, as it were.
That's where I saw it.
Okay, so you had to. Okay.
Well, actually, I take
I
that back.
got
I think I saw it as a reel, but it had the little TikTok logo on it. So, or it
Okay,
went to the
I got
video
you.
at the end, and
Yeah.
I went, I'm just going to look it up here. Tyler, I couldn't tell if I was making a video or searching for one. I couldn't tell. Like I was just like, I don't understand these controls.
I wonder.
I'm in my 40s. It's over.
I wonder. Hear me out. If we create a segment that is based around your journey into TikTok and your successes, your failures, will it be more successful than This Week in Grad School? The bar is pretty low.
Yeah.
Do you think people would take to hearing you navigate through TikTok as a man in your 40s?
Yeah, I think they would not.
Okay.
But I think that I could definitely get some content going and make a video journey of this set that I'm planning for our musical.
I would watch it
because I'm terrified. Like
It's
what I
almost
wanted
that
and
time.
what we were gonna do, it's not happening. So, but something else is happening. I think it's far more dangerous. So that's good. We'll see how many kids die. Hopefully none, but you know, we can always make more. I am so ready to talk about AEW and Full Gear transition.
Transition Jones.
I had shout out to Taz. I miss Taz. As soon as you
Me
said
too.
that.
His son's doing okay though. We'll talk about his son and
he's okay. He's nefarious. But I also that jacket was great. I'm sad that he left it in the ring. I was like, that's the best jacket. Makes sense. Like outside of Ricky, he's not really missing anybody from Team Taz in there right now. And you can't have him in there. If Cage comes out, I guess there you go. That's the whole team reunited.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. We had a really fun show. I thought this show from top to bottom was like, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of rematches, but overall I really enjoyed myself. Takeaways, man, it's so interesting. So let's just get into it. I suppose we'll just do this. This is happening in real time. We're gonna just plow through the card, I imagine, and give our thoughts, because I didn't even think about like how to do that. Just let's go for it. I know.
Should we talk about our fail? Starting with the
I was going to say what exactly what I was going to say. What did you think of the tailgate brawl? While I was watching Renee Paquette and RJ City and Jeff Jarrett do interviews, and I could hear matches happening behind them. I was like, what the hell is going on here? I just heard Austin Gunn and Juice Robinson get a win, but I didn't see them. What just happened? Yeah, it was wild.
This is an outstanding transition from TikTok combos to our experience watching the pre-show, the buy-in, the tailgate brawl, whatever you're calling it now. So Brad and I both, this is for our audience, pulling back the curtain, Brad and I both access the pre-show via YouTube, just standard YouTube. And so, okay, Renee Paquette is introducing the show. There's Jeff Jarrett. There's RJ City. There's Lexi Nair was there. So I was like, oh, this is what we're used to, right? 2 minutes pass by. Okay, I can see entrances, like you said, are happening. The Outrunners have arrived in the ring. Big Bill and Brian Keith are there. Now, mind you, Renee and company are on the top level, right? So I'm just kind of squinting and seeing the dudes who are in the ring. 4 minutes pass by. 8 minutes pass by. And then I think to myself, I didn't even hit you up. I thought I made the right decision. I thought this is what I usually do. And then it dawned on me, okay, we're 9 minutes into the show and I have not seen any in-ring action. Oh, I know what the issue is. The tailgate brawl is HBO exclusive. It's not for us peasants who are here on the free YouTube app. I got to go to HBO and watch it. So I did. I started from the beginning. I enjoyed this four-way tag match. I thought the right guys won, having the Bang Bang Gang pick up the victory, accompanied by Ace Austin. And of course, the two guys I'm referring to here are Juice Robinson and not Colton Gunn. Austin Gunn is who I'm looking for. That's the name. Yeah, Austin Gunn. There we go. The right guys won, building these guys back as a formidable duo, maybe future title contenders. We shall see. We'll talk about our new tag team champions here in a little bit, Brad. But no, right guys won. Max Caster and Anthony Bowens. When we get that acclaimed reunion, that'll be awesome. I still want great things for Big Bill. I want him to pick up wins every time I see him. Fortunately, he did not get pinned to lose this match, so that's a good thing. And the Outrunners are here. They're fun. They're the perfect team for a tailgate brawl event. That's no shade. We enjoyed them quite a bit. I just think with the reformation of the tag team division, the Outrunners were kind of nearing the top of the tag team division, dare I say, at parts earlier in the year when the division wasn't as strong or wasn't as hot. But now that those foundational pieces are starting to form and some teams have ascended, I think this is the ideal spot for the Outrunners, and they were fun as they usually are. So yeah, I thought this was a great way to open the show, and I'm grateful that I realized my error before you realized yours, because you hit me up and said, "Yo, what's going on?" I heard the result of the match. I didn't get to see it, and then I thought, "Oh, Brad, I just discovered this 5 minutes before Brad did. Let me put him on game."
So I have no idea what the storyline is because I don't watch ROH TV. However, the stuff that the Outrunners have been doing on social media with Dalton Castle makes me go, that would be a wonderful trios. Having the Outrunners be his boys coming out like as oh my gosh. Like I don't even know what you call them. I don't know, what do you call that team? You put a hyphen between Outrunners? Yeah. Like I got nothing. Like that's all I got. But you can't call them the Cock Runners. So I don't know what.
No, you cannot. If memory serves,
runners either, really.
It's crazy. Isn't Shane Taylor Promotions the current ROH trios champs? That's still a thing. I'm pretty sure
the six man, right?
That's what ROH calls it. I'm pretty sure they beat the Sons of Texas or the Von Erichs a few months back. I could easily see the Outrunners and Dalton Castle being the guys to beat Shane Taylor Promotions. That's perfect for them.
But I just comedy gold.
Definitely.
Boom and Doom. Moving on. Hook and Eddie Kingston defeated the Workhorsemen. It made me happy. Like, JD Drake is such an underrated performer. Like, I think we say that about him every time he performs, right? Like, it's just like freakish athleticism for somebody who looks like he has no business being athletic. He just doesn't. It's not shade or anything. It's just like he's got like the either dyed or naturally very gray hair, silver hair. He's the same shape as Eddie Kingston, but he's out there doing like moonsaults and shit. It's like it's wild. I've never understood it. I never will. It is crazy that match was 1 minute and 50 seconds.
Yes, it was quick. It was setting us up for what was to come, and we'll get into how that last match on the tailgate brawl played out. I agree with you. Flowers to JD Drake for sure. Have we seen this tag match already? Because speaking of rematches throughout the night and that being a consistent topic, if you will, I feel like we've seen this match in the recent past. I don't know that it was needed for this show whatsoever, but also I recognize the value in having a star like Eddie Kingston on your program to set up the pay-per-view. And obviously Hook, to me, Hook's been running in or not even running, he's kind of been walking in the median lane for a minute now. That changed by the end of the night, which we'll get to later. But I like you said, it was 2 minutes. It was harmless. I get the value in having these four in there. I didn't think it was needed per se for the show, but it was harmless. And again, Eddie Kingston, especially in New Jersey, close to New York, that has immense value. And he's one of the most over acts on the entire roster. I just feel like we saw that. I feel like I've seen these four wrestle a few weeks ago, a month ago. Maybe it was just a singles version, but
I don't remember. It's so hard. Yeah, that's the part that it's so hard to keep track, because it's like
it is.
These factions will feud, but like an individual will feud with a different individual, or a tag team with a different tag team. but they're all beating the crap out of each other anyway, all during that time. There just happens to be a different match with a different winner happening while they do the same things over and over and over again. And I think that's the real problem. I think it's great that they all get on television at the same time and you're getting people exposure and reminding people what's going on, but it just feels rehashed when it's like, no, these people have never wrestled before. You're like, yeah, they've never wrestled officially before, but I watched that dude get thrown through a table, during the match by the dude he's wrestling in the ring now. So I kind of feel like I saw it already. So yeah, it's very surreal to me. It could have been a one-on-one. It could have been a tag team. It could have been, who knows? It could have been just, lunch. I have no idea.
And Eddie Kingston, so his return match was the one-on-one versus Big Bill at All Out back in, I want to say August, September in Canada.
Man, has it been that long already?
It's been that long. It's been a minute.
Wow.
I figured by now Eddie would have something more substantive and something that would definitely be on the main card. So also maybe part of my feelings are, what is next for Eddie Kingston? Maybe it's going to be a feud against Hook. Maybe Eddie Kingston will play a role in the main event or the angle we saw set up after the main event tonight. But I also just have questions about where we're going with Eddie Kingston, because there was a lot of excitement and a lot of anticipation for his return. And, 2 months later, I have doubt about where we're going with him creatively.
I think where he's going next is what got set up between the men's and women's title tonight. And that's the Continental Classic. I think like that would be the place. I'm actually super excited. This is such a fun tournament. I love this.
100%. The seeds have already been planted for this to be an epic Continental Classic.
and it stayed all in the Don Callis family. Just Takeshita and Okada and Fletcher all in it. And they're all supposed to be teammates and stuff. It's all breaking down. The biggest criticism I have of the evening as we transition into, Don Callis family losing, too much Don Callis. That dude was on the show so much that I just like he should be on there a little bit. I agree he should come out and stuff, maybe even be ringside, but like he just was. It felt like you just put him on commentary full time. What's the point of having him leave and come back and leave and come back and leave? I just commit to something. He's just on there way too often. That being said, L's Sky Team, which is hilarious to see in print, defeated the Don Callis family, and it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this one. Mystico and Dorada are so unbelievably, and Neon are so unbelievably athletic. Actually, everybody in this match, different sized human beings with almost the same athleticism, is crazy. I don't understand.
It really is, yeah. And Hechicero continues to be amazingly over as well. I don't know that it was as obvious tonight, but there have been recent Dynamites and recent Collisions and even recent past pay-per-views, even like an All Out, I want to say, where he gets a huge reception.
He's just
and it always catches me off guard, like, oh yeah, like people really rock with him because he's awesome at what he does.
Yes, he's so good. It's the JD Drake thing.
Right.
If you just look at the shape of that human being,
yeah,
like you can go like, oh, that dude is super strong. Like look at him and go like, he's probably strong as hell. He's shaped like a barrel, just in the upper body, like a sideways barrel. He's like the old school strongman shape.
Right. It's kind of getting that Rhino-esque.
Yeah. Like wide, not super defined, although it's hard to tell with that giant onesie he's wearing. But it's like that he's just got that body of a really, really strong person that you would assume isn't going to be super agile. And then he's out there doing luchador stuff because he's like a proper luchador, and it's crazy. I continue to just constantly be amazed for what I loved about growing up in the time that I grew up and getting to see the NWO and getting to see the Monday Night Wars and Stone Cold and Undertaker and all these like incredible wrestlers at their prime and peak. The storytelling then was incredible. The characters were amazing. The wrestling couldn't touch this like at all in terms of pure athleticism. Storytelling, sure, could have that argument all day long, but like just athleticism overall, probably because what's being broadcast is different. Because ECW got to see it, but WWE at the time, WWF was just doing their thing and wasn't really showcasing all of that. They were sometimes, but then they put like this crazy athletic Japanese wrestler, we're going to put him in the choppy his pee-pee storyline, and that's what he's going to do until we fire him. Wasn't great.
No, it was not. What a time that was. I remember it vividly. I don't remember everything about this match because it was
that's why I talked about the other stuff.
6 hours ago. But
yeah, I didn't read any notes. I was like, I remember this being really fun and really flippy, and the tandem moonsaults off of the out to the outside on Okada.
I do remember that.
Takeshita, yeah.
And there was no blood in this match. I also remember that. I also do acknowledge and appreciate the crazy athleticism, like you said. All the guys involved, particularly the El Sky team, just tremendous. I have 2 points before we move to the next match. Number one, I catch these pay-per-views with my dad. One of my favorite parts about moving back to the Valley is being able to watch these shows with him. And he mentioned exactly what you said. Too much Don Callis. And not in a way of, oh, he's a heel, I don't want to root for him.
Yeah.
Just as you put it, Brad, just simply too much of Don Callis being everywhere. So I second what you and my pop said. And then also Okada versus Takeshita in a tag match and there being dissension. Again, we've seen this. I can only believe that it's setting up for Okada versus Takeshita at World's End, or even maybe a 3-way. Yeah, maybe even imagine a 3-way if you include a triple threat with Kyle Fletcher in that.
Yes, please.
I mean, that would be fantastic. So I get that we're having these moments to build to the eventual outcome of Takeshita pinning Okada, which would be great business. It just seemed like a rehash of what we've already seen before. Okay, Okada's going to hit him with the clothesline, and Takeshi's going to get upset and stare at him, and those moments just on a 4+ hour show, the redundancy of that I didn't love. But the athleticism, the work rate of all these guys, it was fantastic. And the decision also, I want to hear your thoughts on this before we move on. The decision for, what is it now, a second pay-per-view in a row. Wrestle Dream is when this started. FTR versus Jet Speed, having the last match of Tailgate Brawl, then lead into and conclude on the main show. Tony Khan and company ran that back again, and the 6-man tag started at the very end of the Tailgate Brawl. I want to say with like 5 minutes left.
Yeah, a few minutes.
And then went well into the main show. What do you think about that call?
I don't mind it at all.
Really?
No, because I have HBO Max.
I didn't. No. There you go.
I just switched over and like nothing happened. For people on YouTube who are if people buy the pape on Amazon or wherever else they get it, that's got to be a terrible start to a thing where it's like they're already going. What happened? I would not enjoy starting a movie in 10 minutes in.
Sure. Right.
For something I'm paying for specifically.
And maybe it's because I knew we were going to have this recording after. Given the length of this card, I would have made a different decision. Love everybody involved. Having Okada and Takeshita officially on the main card is important for sure. And again, you're using Mystico and you're using big names from CMLL. I get business-wise why that makes sense. I just thought, man, if we're going to go past 10 p.m. on the West Coast, it's the conversation we always have about AEW pay-per-views. The matches are always good to exceptional. Yeah. It's just how do we prioritize which matches to have on the show? I think that's the thing. The Tailgate Brawl plus the main show, because I always believe that I'm getting my money's worth. I know it's important to Tony Khan. He mentioned it on the media call. I'm with you, TK. I think I felt it more tonight, Brad, because poor little us on the West Coast. Now these shows start at 5. Tailgate Brawl starts at 5. Main show starts at 6 instead of the previous 4 and 5 o'clock. I don't know how our East Coast friends and family and audience members do this all the time, but I felt it tonight now that it's an hour later for us post daylight savings.
Yeah, the face I just made was me suppressing a yawn. I'm struggling. Okay, so theory here. Okay.
Theory corner. Here we go.
We don't know anything really about contracts, and I don't know if maybe it's a running joke, but
That's true.
how much did Takeshita well, actually, it wasn't Okada. How much wrestling did Okada do on the Tailgate Brawl?
Right. That was also the setup. Is Okada did not. Great point. Okada did not arrive at the start of the
Okada
match.
doesn't wrestle on a pre-show, Tyler. That's why
backstage
they had to make sure they started at that time.
When the show started,
they're like,
and you gotta
"There's no way we're gonna finish." Yeah.
If he's healthy and he's holding gold, you have to have Okada on your pay-per-views. That is a must. It just by the end of the night, I thought, okay, what match or matches would I have taken out or maybe put on, let's say, the Dynamite, which was a really strong Dynamite, by the way, on Wednesday leading into this show. What would I have done differently? And I thought back to that match. But again, the graps were fun. I enjoyed it. We're building again to Takeshita versus Okada. And I think the outcome is going to be worth all the time and all the dissension we've seen.
Yeah.
I was just ready for the next match by the time this one was, well into I forget how long it went, but it was well into the 10th, 12th minute. I said, okay, I'm ready for that next one now. Let's get the show started.
Yeah, I think it's hard because there's still a hard cutoff time for pay-per-views because they still have to let the cable and satellite providers know when they're going to go off air. So even though they're doing streaming, which theoretically could go forever, they have to cut their feed at a certain time, and they're not going to cut it only for cable. Or they'd have to give people their money back and whatnot. So I understand trying to get everybody on there. I just think it's funny that Okada didn't make it there. I also think it's hilarious that he got out of the car in his gear.
Yes.
number one. But the fact that he was in no rush to get inside in his gear made me laugh the hardest. It's like, why wouldn't you just simply get dressed there if you didn't care that much? Like, just show up with your pants on and go change in the locker room instead of getting in your gear, getting in a car. How are you getting home?
Right.
Just going to wear that out.
Can I confess? I've always been suspicious of dudes who drive without a shirt on.
It's so weird. That's
the idea of that. It seems uncomfortable. It seems impractical.
I'm glad you kept speaking because I was going to say something about what they're like.
I guess if you're the Continental Champion. You don't have to worry about these questions. But I also found it hilarious that he showed, I forget what kind of car it was, but he showed up in a fancy sports car in his gear, taking his time to get out to the ring for this match. That went on a little too long for my taste.
Yeah. And speaking of gear, I'm loving this heel Pac wearing the long boys. Pac going to be out there wrestling for the Death Riders, and too much Don Callis. I was going to lose my mind if I heard dun, 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 one more time. I was like, oh my God, this song. Stop. It's starting to feel like NWO on WCW programming. Like just reheating that music over and over and over and over again. Like I felt like, wait, did my show glitch? Are we back to this again? It was especially egregious when it kept happening during the casino battle. Like or the casino gauntlet, whatever it's called. All of those things just always, I don't know, man. Like you got to think about the programming. That being said, Darby Allin is insane. I don't really have anything to add other than like, how is he living?
For sure.
That's all I got. Pac killed that man.
When Pac took off the bandages that Darby had all across his arm, and it's going onto his chest, and the second and third degree burns were revealed, and Pac was, aggressively rubbing his hands on it, and it was just and Newark, the crowd had a visceral reaction to this as well, as I think both you and I did here in Arizona. Yeah, Darby.
I was reliving it. Yeah.
Watching his matches is an experience. I'll give him this. Watching his matches is an experience unlike any other wrestler because you just don't know what he's going to do. We don't. I mean, I think generally going into a Darby match, we think we know the lengths he'll go to pull off an entertaining match and one that you're going to remember. But my goodness, you and I just want him to have a long career. We want him to be healthy and safe. And some of the spots here were, this is really a theme for the night. Some of the spots were just downright brutal. The right guy won. Pac won, obviously, right? So Wheeler Yuta comes out. We should enjoy these Death Rider moments while we have them, Brad, because they are definitely turning on Jon Moxley at World's End, by the way. That is one of my takeaways from the show. But Wheeler Yuta comes out. He gives Pac the bat that Darby brought to the ring during Darby's entrance as an homage to Sting, of course. With behind the referee's back, Pac gets the bat, clocks Darby in the face, and then 1, 2, 3, we're out. Pac wins. I love that Pac gets a singles match on the pay-per-view. I love that he picks up a win. Pac needing to cheat to beat Darby Allin is not for me. I get he's a nefarious villain, but he should be able to beat Darby Allin simply because he's the bastard Pac and he's one of the best wrestlers in the world. I thought that was absurd, frankly. You were okay with it.
Yeah.
We need a cheat to beat Darby
after him beating Jon Moxley repeatedly. Yeah,
which is also
John Moxley getting out hardcored by Darby. Everybody getting out hardcored by Darby Allin. It's been a theme this year, and Darby's I don't care if I die. I don't care if I win a championship.
Correct.
I'm just here to embarrass you and take everything from you.
Correct. Which has led to Jon Moxley's downward spiral, which we'll get into later.
Exactly. But Pac defeating Darby Allin, I agree with you. Like he could easily beat him in a singles match.
He should.
Yeah.
I don't think that takes anything away from Darby. He ran into the bastard.
I don't know. It kind of does. It was really cool to see him return for longtime viewers. It's great for people that jumped in the last year. They don't know who this guy is.
Yeah.
They're going to go, is that Neville? What's he doing there with short hair?
Is that the man gravity forgot? It's been infrequent
due
to visas and injuries.
Exactly. So he was gone for like a solid year. It felt like, I mean, it wasn't quite that long, but it was pretty close. And the last time we saw him, he had very long hair and he was in the Death Riders. And then that was it. He disappeared for a very long time. And then he came back and it's awesome. And he looks just as good as ever.
He looks as great as he's ever looked. Right.
But that's implying that Pac should have the world championship already. And while I might just say, yeah, I agree with that completely. I've been saying it for years. He should be holding gold all the time. I don't understand why he's not.
He was a foundational piece. When they had that press conference in Florida, it was, okay, there's Hangman Page, there's Chris Jericho, there's Kenny Omega, there's Pac. I think we forget Pac was a day one.
Yeah.
And he made his intentions known early that he's here to win some gold, which he's done. He just hasn't got into that, viable world title, consistent,
not
viable world
gold
title. No, I mean, I remember he was in that fun triple threat at Double or Nothing. This may have been maybe 2022.
Death Triangle.
I want to say it was. I think it may have been before Death Triangle. It was Pac versus Orange Cassidy versus heel Kenny Omega as champ.
Oh yeah,
and that wasn't even the main event. I think Stadium Stampede was the main event of that show.
Yeah, that was great.
But I remember that triple threat being fantastic. Again, Pac had no shot of winning. But I do remember that is one world title match he had, and it was on pay-per-view. We just went in knowing he's
I forgot about that. Yeah,
but he checks all the boxes: the promo work, the in-ring work. He, like Darby to me, Brad. He also, when you watch his matches, it feels unique. It doesn't feel like anything else on the card. I love this match, even though I didn't like the finish. You were higher on it than me. I do love this match because you had two AEW originals start out the show.
Oh, I hate that. I hate the finish. I don't like that bat. Forget the bat. I don't mind.
I'm putting that on you.
I don't mind Pac using the bat at all.
Okay.
At all, because he's been doing it his entire time in AEW. Do you not remember the screwdriver and the turnbuckle and stuff?
Yeah,
he's been doing it forever as a heel. He's always
that's a good call. That's a good callback.
But it's that Wheeler had to help him. Like Pac needed Wheeler Yuta.
He doesn't.
That's
Thank
the
you.
part that bugs the
He
crap out of
doesn't.
me.
Yes.
Like,
And to
get
be
that out.
dark.
Wheeler is just there to be killed by everybody, including Chris Statlander, and Wheeler's the help that came out. Like, get out of here with that. Like, I love Wheeler, but I don't love this Wheeler. This Wheeler sucks. He's a punching bag. I feel like the person that's going to end up leading the Death Riders is either going to be Wheeler Yuta, or they kill him immediately when they turn on Mox. There can't be an in between, because like him just being there, like Daniel Garcia, who leads the group, Marina Shafir is the answer.
That would be great. The internet would tell you Claudio is in the driver's seat. I would love
Pac's closer to that.
I agree with you.
Although Pac did go do that and people Wheeler listened to him today. When Mox ran out, Claudio went like that and Wheeler followed. So maybe you're right. Maybe
now that you've proposed the idea of Marina being the leader, I can't unsee it. I want this. I need this. World's End. It's going to happen.
It would be huge for her. I think it would make a ton of sense.
It would be
the way she was looking at Mox at the end when he lost before he went and started killing people in there. To poor Kyle. Yeah, a lot of stuff happened tonight. Well, we better move on because we're going to be on here until it's already tomorrow. So the next one is actually the weirdest match on the card. I really liked this match, but it's just, why are we putting stipulation matches on the pay-per-view? Should this not be the final? Should this not be where the tag team people win? I know you want to build out your television programming and it gives people a reason to watch, but like, I don't want to watch a stipulation match. It makes me want to go get a drink of water and stay there. Like it sucks. Granted, I did not want to do that for this match because I love everybody involved and I watched the heck out of it. It was a lot of fun, but I was still like, this doesn't give people a lot of reason to pay money to come see it. Oh, cool. A stipulation match. All right. What? What? I don't know, man. Otherwise, I really liked this. I thought I was kind of surprised by the choice. I was also not surprised by the choice. I just thought Babes of Wrath and Sisters of Sin could have used it a lot more than the Timeless Love Bombs. Even though they're a lot of fun, they're put together. You got one of your marquee talents on the roster in a tag team title match. So I'm sure that's why. But Babes of Wrath are so much fun. And Megan Bayne is awesome. The Marina Shafir pairing never really made sense to me anyway. I mean, it makes sense, but it doesn't make sense that they don't just, have Marina kill Megan Bayne for fun because she's in the Death Riders and that's what they do. I think. Mm-hmm. I don't really understand what they're doing. I still don't understand them at all.
And obviously, this was a complete pivot. Penelope Ford, having a legit injury, and then how do we? And frankly, too, Brad, you and I were on here many episodes debating who should be the inaugural women's tag champs, and there was a strong case for Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford. I'm sure that once Penelope Ford is healthy, if Megan Bayne is not holding singles gold by then, they will become women's tag champs sooner rather than later. We've reached the point where Megan Bayne needs to hold gold. I mean, every time you see her, it's just clear that she's a powerhouse, and her character would be one that I think would really be elevated by winning a championship, whether that be tag team or singles. But I agree with you. I had less of an issue with the stipulation match being on the card, although that's funny and very accurate that when we're looking at pay-per-views and just generally what's befitting of that. I do hear your point. I also recognize my bias in that I just love everybody in this match.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard. I was just straight up giddy when all of them came out. And I was like, oh man, yeah. This is what we've been asking for. The bones of this women's tag division are so strong. Am I sad that Ty J is nowhere to be found after losing to the?
I was going to say that's the one too that'll beef it up. But assuming
Anna Jay may be on her way out, her contract reportedly according to Fightful Select is going to be up in the coming months. That makes me sad because they've been an awesome tag team for probably the longest out of anyone here. But all 8 women in this match were fantastic. to your point, Timeless Love Bombs winning creatively, that was also the right call, because obviously this is following up from their loss at the inaugural Women's Blood and Guts match. So now Timeless Love Bombs pick the stipulation. I would expect them to actually beat Megan Bayne and Marina Shafir. I like when Mina Shirakawa said, what was it, a Taipei death match on Dynamite, when they were bringing up ideas to each other. I thought that was hilarious and diabolical of Mina. But I think it was important for Timeless Love Bombs to pick up this victory, not only for creative purposes, but also because my prediction is that the Sisters of Sin are going to beat the Babes of Wrath. And if the crowning is going to happen, if that final match is going to happen at World's End, just continuing to stack that show, Sisters of Sin will end up beating the Timeless Love Bombs. And okay, Timeless Love Bombs got their win here, but then ultimately Julia Hart and Sky Blue will become those champs and pick up that win in a month's time. I really enjoyed this match. I thought it was super fun, and I think the best is yet to come with this tournament. I'm really hopeful that they're going to land the plane on this.
Yeah, there's some really cool stuff in this match. I enjoyed it. I guess, as a match, great. I just would have been happy with this being the end of the tourney and have it be like this. All right, we got a 4-way tag match to see who the inaugural champs are.
Yes.
Instead of having it just be a stipulation match. But we also know that it's like, this gives us something to bite into for the next month and eventually lead to the next pay-per-view where they'll probably have the final, because Full Gear is Full Gear, but the other pay-per-views don't have the same like AEW Big Four original things.
Not the same cachet.
Right, yeah.
And World's End has already... Hey, yes, you must be an English teacher. This is true. And World's End, we spoke about this probably a year ago leading up to World's End. That pay-per-view already has such a... I don't know if volatile is the right word, but a volatile history, right? Because that's where we're supposed to get Swerve versus Keith Lee. Keith Lee got injured. I don't know that we've seen him since. And Dustin Rhodes filled in admirably. That was also the pay-per-view. I think maybe in its first year, Samoa Joe defeated a babyface MJF to become champ. And then Adam Cole revealed himself to be the devil, turning on MJF. And then we know what happened after that. So World's End in and of itself is just a fascinating pay-per-view, because there have been some real swings and misses there. But if we already know Okada versus Takeshita is going to happen at World's End, if we can pencil in the women's tag final, if we can pencil in, well, I'll save my thoughts on the main event, but I think we're already seeing the formation of what can be a really strong World's End card, and maybe the best one in its 3-year history potentially.
Keith Lee was last on the Holiday Bash edition of AEW Collision in December 23rd, 2023. So it's been almost 2 years since we've seen him on TV, which is crazy.
I miss him.
I do too. He's just so good. They could really use him in the division too. Just another heavy that is crazy athletic, that has just unmeasured charisma. He's so good. Okay. Plus that theme song's a banger. I want to hear that again. The next match is FTR beating Brodito, which I don't really have a problem with. Like I thought this match ruled. I thought this was a ton of fun. It made sense how everything got pulled off. They had me several different times with false finishes and using different finishers and stuff. And they essentially had to use a nuke at the end to get the win. So I thought this match ruled. I really enjoyed it. That was a great showing for Brodito. And yeah, man, I really have nothing to add. Happy for FTR winning another championship. Not happy heel FTR is in control because they're dastardly, but I love them, so I don't care.
I know you do. This was my match of the night.
Yeah,
this was so phenomenal. And I recognize, and longtime viewers will know, for me, nothing hits like an incredible tag team match. I say this often, Brad. This gave me shades of FTR when they were in NXT, and those tag team matches on those takeover specials where it just hits different. This was great. I could have used a few more months of Brodito being tag champs. I thought they hit it out of the park with this tag title run. Every match I saw of theirs was sensational.
Yeah.
But you and I also, correct me if I'm wrong, last week you and I also, and I think you specifically forecasted potential title changes on this show, FTR being at the top of that list because I would imagine Christian Cage and Adam Copeland want some revenge and would also love to become tag team champions. So
That'd
this
be
may
my
have been a
world's
little bit
end right there. Yeah.
that that card could be really, really great.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
I'm
match
really
was.
excited about it already. Yeah.
I feel bad that I don't have more to say. This is crazy that I probably went longer on the opener for Tailgate Brawl than I did. And it's just a fatigue thing. It's not anything else other than fatigue. I started out
No,
hot,
same.
and then I just
Yeah,
start
I'm
to
with you.
peter off as the episode continues. Long-time
Yeah.
viewers will know this about me. But this match was my favorite on the card. It was so great. It was the fitting way to end a really fun tag title reign for Brodito. I thought this year has really elevated Bandito. I mean, he's just had a monumental leap in 2025. Brody King has finally, been given the ball and has completely run with it. And I'm not mad at FTR winning this match. This was graps. This was a work of art. This really was.
Yeah, this was incredible. Yes. Now I know that you probably were very excited about the next one. Your man Ricochet.
Next one.
Yes, man Ricochet won the inaugural
AEW
AEW National Championship, the Casino Gauntlet match.
Let's go.
I thought this was a lot of fun. These matches are always great. I was a little surprised at how short it was, and I'm not mad at it given how long the night was. But I also know that we didn't get as many people in it as we normally do, and I felt like it was missing something. I don't know what it was, but surprises, I guess, it'd be the word. I wasn't like overly shocked by anything compared to like Nigel McGuinness coming out. We didn't exactly get something like that. We didn't get a returning MJF in a mask. We didn't get a lot of things where it's just like, oh wow, I can't believe that just happened. Except for the win. So the biggest surprise there would be Ricochet getting the win, which shouldn't be a surprise if you've been paying attention to the show over the last year since Ricochet got there. I mean, which was at Full Gear, wasn't it?
It was. No, you know what? It was actually at All In London.
That's right. It was All In London.
He debuted in a Casino Gauntlet match.
It was a Casino Gauntlet. Yeah.
Even the one you referenced with Nigel, I believe.
Nigel. Yeah.
And he's been improving. Well, he's already a phenomenal wrestler. I don't know if improving is the right word, but he's been growing month in and month out as a character since then. If you think back to when he debuted, okay, he's going to do the high flying moves. He's going to show that he is remarkably strong. Like, he doesn't even get enough credit for being strong. He's one of the best sellers in the business. But as a character, what he's done over the last 6 to 12 months has been excellent. And this is, I am still not someone who believes that we need another title in AEW, especially on the men's side of things. But if we must have one, who is the right person to establish the new title? Who's the right person, dare I say, who's earned it with their work, who maybe hasn't had that opportunity yet? It's Ricochet, man. I expected him to win this match, especially when Lashley just totally destroyed him on Dynamite. I thought, you know what? I think this is setting up for Ricochet to actually get the win at Full Gear.
Yeah.
And he did that. So I absolutely love the finish. Kevin Knight showed out as well. Big
looks
props
great
to him. My only issue with this match, Brad, I actually thought it went a little bit too long, as a matter of fact. So maybe you and I disagree there. But the other issue I have, Tony Khan, I'm looking in the camera for this, the TikTok camera. False advertising. Brad, the number 1 and number 2 entrants, which were announced, which were advertised, they were on the poster for the show. Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin. So I expected we would have at least 2 to 3 minutes of them suplexing each other.
Yeah.
But instead, we got a handshake. We got some attempted holds. I'm gonna go for the shoot. I'm gonna go for the, get you on the ground. And then Brett, it literally had to be 45 seconds after the bell
sure felt like it.
rang.
Yeah.
Oh, we get entry number 3, Ricochet. I forgot. Oh, it's not an allotted time. Part of the rules for the Casino Gauntlet are that people come in whenever. It's not like let's say the Royal Rumble where, okay, it's every 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So maybe the Casino Gauntlet's always been that way and I just forgot. That felt like low-key some false advertising to me. But by the end of this match, all was forgiven because the right guy won. I'm so glad Ricochet has gold.
I thought the match went on too long as it was, which is why I was saying it just felt like there were fewer people in it. Because I think there were. I don't maybe I'm wrong about that, but it just felt like there wasn't like a swarm of people, or maybe there weren't any big surprises. I think it might have been Austin Gunn. Maybe it was Colton. I don't know. One of the Guns on Twitter was like a stupid Ricochet one, something like that. Is like he got that pin right before I was supposed to make my entrance to the match. I was like, oh, that's great. Yeah, because they keep them coming, and if you win early, it's just over. So I
And
always
it
thought
is
that
fun,
was kind of a cool thing. Yeah.
and it's a unique concept to
Mhm.
AEW. So that is going back to what you said about what are the types of matches we want to see on these AEW pay-per-views. I do think there's real value in having a Casino Gauntlet match on at least, let's say, 2 pay-per-views per year. I think at this point we always get it on All In, a men's and women's Casino Gauntlet at this point. I think that's kind of the move that they're going for. But then to also have it in this case at Full Gear, I thought was really neat because it's completely different. It's completely AEW's, and in this case, the right talent won. This is a big look for Ricochet, man. I'm so glad that he picked up this victory, and I'm eager to see
Yeah.
how this plays into the Demands story moving forward.
And a good look. That belt looks really cool. Kind of reminds me of the old school European Championship.
Yes.
I really like the look of this belt. Okay, then the next one is Kyle O'Reilly defeating John Moxley and then being murdered by everybody else before leaving. I thought this was really a really gross match and was a lot of fun. Is the word question mark? But I thought it was a good John Moxley match with Kyle O'Reilly in it. I thought the right person won. I think they're clearly setting that up. But then at Unhinged, John Moxley afterward doing more stuff. What do you do with Kyle O'Reilly next? And yeah, I have questions about this. This one felt like, aside from the no holds barred part, and even then, I don't know, could have been Dynamite.
I struggle.
That's all I got.
I struggle with these matches, and you mentioned earlier some fans not liking that there were so many rematches advertised for this card, and fans, including the two hosting this podcast, we necessarily love that there are so many retreads. What I will say is, of course, we had Blood and Guts, which was violent and bloody. It's in the title. But this match really felt like, okay, this is pay-per-view quality. Yes, we're seeing it again, but both guys certainly delivered. Kyle O'Reilly picking up a pay-per-view victory over John Moxley is huge for him as a character. I just struggle with these insanely violent matches. And at this point, it seems like that is the John Moxley formula, especially on pay-per-view. So the fact that 2 months in a row, we've seen these matches with Darby Allin and the forks getting brought out and the biting and the
or 3. Is it
maybe
3
even
now though with Darby?
and we're also just coming off of
I
Blood
can't
and
remember
Guts.
because of Blood and Guts.
It's at least 2 singles matches, maybe
Yeah.
more, and then just coming off of Blood and Guts. It's a lot, particularly for my palate and what I enjoy as a wrestling fan. I know there are other people, even people who watch or listen to us, Brad, where maybe they really enjoy these violent matches and are really into even like death match wrestling. Not really my speed, but shout out to the guys. I hope both of them are safe and okay following the match. KOR picking up the victory, like I said, is huge. At this point for Mox, I'm just eager for, as we discussed, the Death Riders to turn on him so that we can start a new chapter for Mox. And part of the allure of John Moxley is that he's going to bleed in a lot of his matches, and he may bring out a fork every now and then and stab his opponent with it. But at this point, I'm really eager to see what that next arc for him is as a character, because he's a phenomenal wrestler. He's not someone who needs to rely on these matches to get reactions and to put on memorable bouts. But I feel like I've just seen this kind of match from him so often this year. But shout out to him. I mean, he took the pin. KOR goes over. And as you pointed out, starting with the Pac versus Darby match, the descent of Jon Moxley, this invisibility that he had, being the ace of AEW, it continues to fall as a character. And I do appreciate that consistency. And if the Death Riders don't kick him out by World's End, I will be apoplectic. I mean, at this point, what are we doing? It's time. It's just very bloody for me. Just wasn't my speed.
It just doesn't feel like it was an earned pay-per-view feud. Like they had a moment in Blood and Guts, and suddenly like no, it's no holds barred, and it's just like, why? Like just do it on Collision. Like I don't need a 20-minute blood match happening.
It was 20 minutes, yeah.
On a pay-per-view that's 18 hours long to begin with. Like it's fine. Like I love both of these guys. I just felt like there's so much stuff going on this card, and they're all like 20 to 25 minute things. And then it's just this match. Who bought this pay-per-view for that one? Like that's the thing. It's like, I mean, you have to have matches on there that are, whatever. I don't know. Kyle O'Reilly got a win against Jon Moxley in a big spot. And that's the most important thing outside of it feeds the narrative that Moxley can't win. He's losing his shine and that he's probably going to be replaced when they turn on him. But like this yawn, totally natural yawn. Unfortunately, I'm struggling. I just, I don't get it on this card. I thought it was good for what it was. I don't need it. I could have gone right into Briscoe and Fletcher because you knew damn well that there was going to be blood happening for the rest of the show on purpose or not on purpose. So it's just like, all right, blood and guts to bloodbath for 4 hours. Got it.
Yes. And that was another point that my dad brought up, which I thought was super astute. Very curious decision to have these two matches go back to back. We knew that we were going to get a total bloodbath in KOR versus Mox, and you have to have Mox in a prominent role on your pay-per-view. That is
of course.
You have that match, and then you go right into Briscoe versus Fletcher. No DQ, lots of blood, Thumbtack City. And if I'm tripping, our audience please should let me know if you're
you're right.
If you're thinking no, I was good with the pacing, it would let's do this, okay. But having these two back to back and it being insanely violent, again, well worked, especially Fletcher versus Briscoe, but it was just a lot for my own consumption of almost an hour of just straight Crimson masks. But I really enjoyed the TNT title match. I'm actually surprised Briscoe won. I did not think Kyle Fletcher's reign was going to end so soon.
I had a feeling he would, and I thought it was. I thought that match was awesome. I really enjoyed that one. That one felt earned, and really it felt all of it felt really good. Like that one made a ton of sense for me to be a no DQ match. What's the difference between no holds barred and no DQ? Because I don't think they're doing it like that way. No holds barred doesn't mean use a fork. No holds barred means like I can choke you and you can't break the count. Like that's it. Or I can just do a full Nelson. I guess I don't really know. Because no holds barred says, well, it's no holds barred. Okay. Yeah. Wrestling holds, none of them are barred. Do whatever wrestling hold you want to. Grab their hair in their nostrils if you want to. At no point, no holds barred does it say use a fork, stab that man. Like that, none of those are in there. No DQ, okay. Thumbtack City and stab that man. There's nothing you could do in that match. It's a sanctioned match that people sign waivers to say, like, I'm going to violently disfigure you, and there's nothing you could do about it. Do you agree? Yes or no? Like, okay, that's stupid. But yes, I understand it. But like no holds barred versus no DQ back to back. And you have bloodbaths in both of them because they're both implementing weapons that shouldn't be from the outside. One of them sounds like it's allowed and one of them doesn't. I don't understand no holds barred if it just means no DQ. What's the difference? Because they're not pinfall anywhere, neither of them. So they're just
True.
words are different, and that's it. So I don't. Maybe the no holds barred match just means somebody from the outside can't interfere. It has to be a no DQ match with some DQ in it. That's all I got. Like if Marina decided to start beating the piss out of Kyle O'Reilly on the side, is there anything anybody could do about it? I don't know. Not in a no DQ match, not in the Casino Gauntlet match, but I don't know. There's so many no DQ, too many of these happen on here. Damn it, I still had a good time. It was still fun.
There was also more Don Callis here, which we have already litigated, but I thought I would have a far more negative reaction to Kyle Fletcher losing the TNT title, especially this early in his reign. But by the time Briscoe pinned him 1, 2, 3, I thought to myself, I'm okay with this, especially seeing what we got later in the night, which was Kyle Fletcher declaring for the C2. I thought,
give him something to chase. That's going to be awesome.
Yes, clearly he has proven to be so undeniable that there is already a plan for him. We don't have to wait till Wednesday to tune in to see where does he go from here. No, Tony Khan and company said, we got you. Checks watch. 90 minutes later, we will make sure you leave the show knowing there is a plan for Kyle Fletcher. And the Mark Briscoe package they had before his entrance of when he's down, thinking of his brother and trying to make his brother proud and his family and his kids and the conglomeration. Once that played, I thought to myself, okay, there's a real shot that Mark Briscoe is winning this thing. I don't know that you play that package and then have him lose again to Kyle Fletcher. So I was actually surprised that I was good with this by the end. I really enjoyed the match, as I know you did.
Yeah, I think, and it's really cool for Mark Briscoe. Everybody wins in this one. Okay, so the next match was probably my favorite match of the night, and that was the Young Bucks and Josh Alexander beating Kenny Omega and Jurassic Express, and it's because of Jurassic Express. The spot with Luchasaurus standing kind of as like a bridge, so Jack could like leap off his shoulder and off the top rope to give one of the Jacksons a Hurricane Rana to the outside. There was moments like that through this match it was just constant streams of crazy, just unbelievable stuff happening in there. I didn't think that Josh Alexander was going to fit well in this match with all of these other people that we've seen do, let's face it, a Young Bucks tag style match, which is what we got. Because we got that big moment at the end where AEW does this all the time with their tag team division, since the Young Bucks are in it, where everything breaks down and then every member of each team takes turn one piecing each other until we're all laying down in the ring, and the crowd's going nuts. Right. I thought this was great. I thought most things made sense. I can't remember everything, so I don't know. That FTR match, I can't stop. I'm going to yawn until I pass out live on a thing I'm recording. FTR defeating Brodito was an incredible tag team match. This was also an incredible match. I didn't care as much about the stakes. When I saw the $1 million and they haven't joined, I was like, all right, this is going to be their turn. And that's what happened. So the outcome I really liked almost as much as I liked the match itself. I just thought it was a really good look for Jurassic Express, because they're not vying for like a tag team title right now. They haven't been fighting people for a tag team title. So I thought it was a really good look for them. And I thought it made Josh Alexander look pretty good. And I think the Josh Alexander, Kenny Omega stuff has been really good for Josh. Poor Kenny had to sell up the ramp longer than it took the Young Bucks to decide to go save him. I love Luchasaurus going like, here, let me help you so we can make this go a little faster. But he's like a foot and a half taller than Kenny Omega. So he had to like hunch the whole way up the ramp. And then Kenny turned to wave at the crowd and then kept selling. And I just watched Luchasaurus like F it and go into the back, and he just like kept going. But I thought it was cool that they got to the top of the ramp, looked left, looked right, and they were like, let's go to the right. And the Bucks went to the right. I thought that was cool.
Well, yeah.
If you know, you
yeah.
know.
The good
Exactly.
guys go to this side. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. I second what you mentioned. This match was incredibly fun. Obviously, you and I are fans of the Young Bucks, style of tag team matches or 6-man matches, as you mentioned, trios, if you will. And this checked all the boxes. I kept thinking throughout this match about Kenny Omega and how fortunate we are to still be able to watch him work, because it's been reported by the good folks at Fightful and Fightful Select and other outlets that, and Kenny Omega has openly shared this, that over the last several years, he's really gone through it health-wise. That's even been a story. That's been an angle on TV, as well as battling diverticulitis and vertigo, and just all of these things that would put a mere mortal down for the count. But Kenny Omega maybe doesn't work as frequently as he did at the start of AEW, but still pops up for these bigger pay-per-views. And I just, Brad, at this stage in my life, I think a lot about mortality. And I even think about the mortality of the people we watch on these shows, and to still be able to watch Kenny Omega do his thing and ball out. That just gives me so much joy. And I was just really happy to see him seemingly having fun and putting on another awesome match. I think we really have to remind ourselves how cool it is that we still get to see him compete, because we never know when it's anyone's last match, or unless you're John Cena, I suppose. We don't always get to know when it's it. But for Kenny Omega, it just seems like, man, this dude's really overcome a lot already. Anytime we get to see him work, we need to be, I don't know if I want to say we need to be grateful for it, but it just makes me happy, and I feel a way. It gives me joy.
Well, speaking of him taking care of his health, Chris Statlander defeated Mercedes Moné. I loved this match. This was such a good one. I'm glad they gave them time, and they used it. Like the end of this match was such a flourish that I was like, I don't know who's winning. They really had me on several occasions. For Mercedes, who I think people were like, I can't believe people believe somebody that small could actually beat somebody bigger and stuff. Watch her give Chris Statlander 14 Germans. That was nuts. That's one of the damnedest things I've ever seen in my life. That was crazy, but it got me thinking about Kenny Omega and his belt collector run, which is ultimately what led him to be in such poor shape physically and probably mentally, but physically, especially with the diverticulitis later on, but like all the torn ligaments and all the stuff he had to have repaired, trying to get to that end so Hangman could win, just because he was so broken. And then to have him like take that break, come back, win the trios thing, brawl out happens, they drop the trios. He's just had like a series of misfortunes throughout this entire run since doing the belt collector thing. But I know a lot of that health issues started from the absolute grind he was doing at that time. And Mercedes Moné has been on an absolute tear lately. I loved the entrance for her. Having a bunch of people holding each individual belt was such a flex. I thought this was great. Of course, I think the right person won. And for her legacy anyway, I wouldn't have been mad if Mercedes won either. I thought that would have been cool too. But just what a way to elevate Chris Statlander, who also looked great in this match. So I just thought the whole thing was fun, and they both continue to impress me and continue to make me go, oh my God, why would you take that bump? The outside of the ring stuff always makes me go, oh, that seems worse than anything you could do.
Straight up. I'm thinking back to Josh Alexander taking that one-winged angel.
Oh my God.
From Kenny Omega.
I can't even imagine.
Like, ugh.
I don't care that there's a mat there. That dude is big enough to go through it.
The walking weapon earned his check for tonight for sure. Yeah, I mean, what needs to be said? Everything and nothing simultaneously. These are two of our favorite wrestlers
Yep.
in the world, wrestling for any company. Mercedes Moné is spoken for. She's probably the GOAT when it's all said and done.
Mm-hmm.
The whole purpose of Chris Statlander defeating Toni Storm to become the AEW Women's World Champion was to elevate her and put her in that stratosphere and in that conversation with Timeless Toni Storm and with Mercedes Moné. You and I
Mm-hmm.
have spent the better part of 2025 discussing how, okay, you have Storm and you have Moné. They're great. Who are you going to elevate on the roster to join them, in that rarefied air? And the pick ended up being Chris Statlander, and it was a great pick. And for her, a year later, to get revenge on Mercedes, she's 0-2 against Mercedes, for her to win this third bout, for her to have the entrance with the spaceship and to pop
Yes.
out and do that, what was that, somersault out of the spaceship,
Yeah.
and hit the new pose, and the crowd goes wild because she's from New York and they're in New Jersey, and we just love her regardless of where we're from. This also brought me joy. 2 matches back to back that brought me joy. Because again, the whole purpose of Chris having this run is to establish her as being on the level of those two. And I believe AEW is doing that right now. Fun match. I don't know if it reached the highs of last year's match for me. I may need to run it back again. I don't want to be prisoner of the moment, but they're incredible. The match was great. And I'm just so happy that Chris Statlander is having this opportunity to show all that she can do.
Mm-hmm.
It was phenomenal.
And I think wasn't it Bailey had a Chris Statlander shirt on
Yes,
in like
did.
at the thing. I don't remember when that was, but it was a while ago. So I know they're all, I don't know if they're all friends or just, acquaintances that really appreciate each other, but that belly to belly was absolutely a shout out, right? Like I know
Great
that
call.
this can
Yes.
beat Sasha, so it probably can beat Mercedes. So
Yes, exactly.
I loved that so much. As like, I wish they could have been able to talk about that. Like,
right.
when the crowd
when
was
Bailey signs with AEW, they'll be able to. Yeah. We just have to wait it out. We just have to
when
wait
the crowd was singing Seth's song after the stomp
from Mox. Yes.
Yeah. Well, Mox did it. Obviously, a Shield shout out for his friend in WWE. But when you hear that going, if I'm commentary, I'd be like, John Moxley paying homage to ROH's Tyler Black would have been amazing, right? Like that's
great. Why did we not get that? That would have been.
Yeah.
Though I think that would have been legal, and that would have been brilliant.
And they probably would have absolutely been able to do it. There's probably nothing wrong with making mention of wrestlers and other companies. I think. I don't know. I don't know because it's if they own the IP, it probably is illegal. But Tyler Black, definitely fine because they own, as far as I understand, they own that property. So, or one of Ring of Honor's greatest champions, or one of their former champions that he was in a team with a long time ago. He could have done something like that. But I thought that was pretty cool. Okay, our main event, Samoa Joe. Now that we're, what time is it? We've been talking for a while. Samoa Joe beat Hangman Adam Page, not alone. Hook is definitely part of the ops. He is the embodiment of what ops are. It was fine. I heel Samoa Joe as a champ. I'm here for it. Because afterward, we got another really long entrance to make a save. And a manager not getting a correct cue from whoever was calling the show. However, what'd you think of the new song and the return of Swerve Strickland?
The more I think about it, the more I love it. The
song
so
good.
Is such a bop.
I thought the song was incredible. There needed to be a change.
Right. And I
tonally.
This is true. I didn't expect it to hit the way it did, because that first Swerve song, or the one we know from the previous reign, was so iconic.
Mm-hmm.
And just it was just so well established. I didn't know, whenever we get a big presentation change for a wrestler, it usually takes a minute to really I think kind of resonate with us. Like when Roman's music changed for the first time, I was like, oh, this is like, I need some time with this, right? But for Swerve, it was instant, Brad. It was really, the return was a motion picture, right? I think we have students that will say, oh, this was like, it's like a movie, right?
Mhm.
Swerve's return was like a movie. It took it took the length of a motion picture that you would see at Harkins. It was way too long, but it was befitting of the megastar, words to LA Knight, the megastar that he has built himself into in AEW. He is a top guy in this company, ostensibly in wrestling, and that was really dope to see him get that entrance and get that treatment. Mind you, I'm usually right 10% of the time with my predictions. This is one of the 10% I want to point out. I got Peg right for Golden Bachelor, and I got Swerve returning. I didn't exactly predict how it would happen correctly. I thought Hangman was going to retain. That was a layup for me. I was totally wrong. But I was right about Swerve coming back, and it actually made a lot of sense for him not only to help Hangman and for the show to end with those two in the ring together, ready to take on the nefarious ops, but also for it to come full circle that Samoa Joe, now champion, also with the Crimson Mask at the end of the show, for it to come full circle that Swerve defeated Joe to become champion, what, a year plus ago at Dynasty? Was that Dynasty 2024 in April? So a year and a half ago. For all those pieces to be a part of this story, it was bravo for me. I was kind of tapped out by the time we got to the end for the cage match. I wonder if Newark, anyone who was in Newark felt that way as well. But by the end of the show, it just was, okay, what are we going to get here? And I was pleasantly shocked that Samoa Joe ended up winning. Like I said, the show needed Swerve's return. And if you were going to end with Joe defeating Hangman, I'm so glad that we got Swerve returning after that. You want to send the crowd home happy. You want people to have to tune in to Wednesday's Dynamite to see what's next. And the way this played out, I believe, did that. And also, one of the biggest winners of the night, Hook. He's to me been stagnant for far too long. Him turning heel, him aligning back with the ops, I think is a great move for him as a character. So I'm eager to see what's next for him as well. I loved everything about the Swerve return, including the music.
The injury for Hook and then coming back and the contract stuff for Hook, like all of that seems to have, played a role in him being absent. I think he had a concussion, like a pretty bad one. So
that's right.
I know they didn't want to mess around with that. So I'm sure that played a role in some of that. But I thought Samoa Joe might win this one because it was in a cage, because it was heel Joe. It made sense. I like Hangman when he's chasing stuff, when it gives him a reason to have to persevere. He's more entertaining. Otherwise, he's just thanking people. So, like, I just the look he gave at the end made me go, I need him to put that black coat back on. For the rest of this run, he needs to go get that black coat. Like, that look in his eyes made me go, that look is of the man that burned down Swerve's house. That man is the one that needs to be around to take down the ops. You need an unhinged lunatic, and Swerve, who was equally deranged. Because Swerve's entrance, was it when we saw Double or Nothing? When Swerve came out as the Predator? I'm pretty sure that's when he came out with the Predator mask and stuff.
I think that was Double or Nothing.
But there was a whole lot of red lights going on him out there. And when he came out, there was a ton of the red light coming out. So he's got this like Predator vibe going, like I'm the killer. The song is about him being the most dangerous man in AEW. So it makes a lot of sense that he would do it like that. But I like that it was sort of a shout to something he's been saying for a long time, just with the presentation and the lighting. I thought that was really cool. But I'm just so happy to see him back. He looked bigger to me. I don't know if you thought that, but he got in there and I was like, that man put on some muscle.
Oh, 100%. And
he was already big. And then like dude came in yoked. It's on the AJ Styles program.
Exactly. If you contrast how he was in NXT, and I think it really, super brief in WWE compared to here in AEW. And then I agree with you even now. It reminded me of when Obafemi popped up on NXT a week now 2 weeks ago it'll be, when it was like, oh man, he was already an Adonis, and then he came back and was even more Adonis-y. Yeah, you're not tripping. So
Yeah.
he's got the music, he's
Yeah.
got the big time contract, he's got the trapezius muscles. He's got everything, man. I'm really eager to see. Well, let me ask you this. This is my final question for you about the show. I wonder what the title match is going to be for World's End. I think we can see a lot of direction for where some of the other stories are going to go for World's End, as we've outlined. I wonder, is this going to lead to Joe versus Swerve? Is this a triple threat situation? Hangman v Swerve v Joe? What say you?
I have no idea. My brain, I can't think of things like that right now, Tyler.
Get back to me next week.
I keep blinking and thinking like, is this it? Like my eyes shut and I'm like, I don't know if they're going back. Like I can't make a decision. I
It's
feel
probably
like
time to talk Stranger Things. Yeah.
I was just gonna say, mate, we better. We're at $1:20 in this year recording, and we haven't gotten to the first segment, the only segment, mercifully. If you've been here this long, God bless you all. But it's time to get into some Stranger Things talk. So play the music. Tyler, we're a week out. I'll let you kick this off because
Yeah.
I'm very excited. I'm very tired too.
I know you are. This is on both accounts. This is one of those special instances where this is serving as a segment for our episode and also a tease for a special that we are releasing very, very soon. As you said, Stranger Things Season 5 is back. In fact, Volume 1 drops on Wednesday. Brad, you outlined this on a previous episode, and you did it very eloquently, might I add. The release of the Stranger Things is going to be a really big deal. I think the way Netflix and company are promoting this has been great. Of course, they've been promoting, all across the globe, but even the release schedule is really going to pay dividends. So not only is Volume 1, like I said, dropping on Wednesday, and this will include 4 episodes all dropping at once, starting with Chapter 1, The Crawl. Netflix, YouTube have released the first 5 minutes of this, which was incredibly spooky. A student told me about this, a freshman young man was like, hey, yo, McDowell, you got to check this out. I'm like, okay, I will. And I forgot just how scary and dark Stranger Things can be. So I will never watch this before I go to bed ever again. But I'm glad I checked out the first 5 minutes. I am very concerned about Will Byers and company and what Vecna can do. But anyway, Chapter 1, The Crawl is the first episode. We have 3 other ones that are releasing on Wednesday, including Chapter 3, The Turnbow Trap, and Chapter 4, Sorcerer. Very mysterious titles, Brad. Volume 2 will end up releasing on Christmas. And of course, the highly anticipated finale will drop on New Year's Eve. Brilliant scheduling. I am so excited. I just want to read the plot description for this final season of Stranger Things, and then I'll kick it to you. So after the events of the 4th season in the fall of 1987, the group, our main cast, I should say, seeks to find and kill Vecna after the rifts opened in Hawkins, Indiana. Now, the mission becomes complicated when the military arrives in Hawkins and begins hunting 11. As the anniversary of Will Byers' disappearance approaches, the group must fight one last time against a deadly threat. Brad, I can't wait for Wednesday. I can't wait for us to release the details of our Stranger Things recap specials that we're going to have. Follow us at GIPod19 for exclusive updates on that. But you are the OG Stranger Things fan. What say you? What's the stoked meter?
I'm really excited. So there is.
Where's the stoked meter?
Well, I'll save it for when we record our specials. But there's have you heard of Stranger Things: The First Shadow? Have you heard of this?
No.
So there is a live action Broadway production of The First Shadow that is essentially a prequel background to explain how Henry Creel ended up becoming one and then Vecna later on. when he, decided to kill his entire family, essentially, or attempt to. The entire point of it was to talk about, like, well, where did his powers come from? What's going on in the other realm and all of that. After rewatching season 4 and knowing that Vecna was using Will to get back, and it's really all about like getting back at 11 and all of these things, Vecna's not in charge. I think that's what the big surprise is going to be, is they're going to be fighting this big thing. And it's Vecna, but then it's just going to turn out to be like, oh, actually it's not really him. It's this other thing, because the Mind Flayer, right? Like the Mind Flayer has been there the entire time, was the big bad in season 1, season 2, season 3. And then they were like, it was always you. And he's like, yep, it was always me. Except the Mind Flayer wasn't created by Vecna. It was already there. Vecna gave him shape. And that's it. We still don't know how the Upside Down got created, because it was an entirely different dimension when he gets there from the entirely other different dimension that he was floating in. So we know of 3 different places so far. The weird hell thing with all the lightning that messes up his body, where he ended up, which is where all the Demogorgons and the Mind Flayer is. And then either that place turned into something new, the Upside Down, or there's an entirely separate parallel universe. We don't know any of that yet. We also don't know a lot of things. So when I saw the Will thing, and we find out in season 4 that it's frozen in time in 1983, because Nancy goes back to the house to get her guns, but they're not there. It's like, these are my chemistry notes that I made with Steve when he was in my house when we were dating in high school. And where are my guns? I don't have my guns. Okay. So how was Will able to communicate run to his mom on that wall if that wall didn't have any letters on it or lights on it? Because that happened after the frozen in time moment. So I think Vecna's been playing them all along. I think Will's been kind of a stooge the entire time, even if he didn't know it. I think we're going to find out a lot more about what's really going down. And I am also afraid of Will. But final thought, we didn't know that Will was a badass. We thought that Will was always just running and helpless and stuff. That dude was taking shots at a Demogorgon, jumping out of trees and crap. And he was like 6. Like, put some respect on Will's name. I've been mad about this for years. Everybody's like, I hate Will. I can't stand that character. He's a twerp. All this stuff. Yeah. Like, Will has saved the day on several occasions. And I don't understand why you would just not like this character. Plus, he's an amazing actor. The thing from the trailers, teasers, whatever, that has given me like the biggest ick is Will saying run and screaming it like his soul was leaving his body. But he was looking straight up at something big. And Nancy Wheeler survived the Vecna counter she had, because everybody forgets about that part, where he made her see the future, including Hawkins being ripped in half, which is essentially what happened, and a gigantic creature that is towering above everybody. Will staring straight up into the sky, yelling, run. I'll save the rest of my thoughts for later before I go too long, but there's some D&D lore that I looked up, because I don't know anything about D&D. And I found out like it every season has been a D&D character, right? Like something referenced to it anyway. Adjacent. Vecna is a D&D character that is Vecna. It's like Vecna. So they could come out there and be like, 8-headed dragon. 8-headed dragon. I just feel like that's what keeps happening. So the primary antagonist in Dungeons and Dragons is the 3-headed dragon. So that's what Will made in his map, in his painting that Mike saw in the car in season 4 of them all fighting a giant 3-headed dragon. So I have a feeling
these are
real bad stuff is going to happen.
These are fantastic notes. I am so locked in. I'm fascinated to see how this lands with audiences, because Netflix has been responsible for some pretty big cultural moments this year.
Yeah.
You had not all that I didn't partake in all of them, but you had Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul, which for better or worse was a moment.
Big moment. Yeah.
I'm even thinking earlier in the year. WWE Raw moving to Netflix. And again, that's kind of our circle specifically.
The
for
great
this, Paul versus
advertising
Tyson.
Raw of 2025. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, Paul versus Tyson kind of touched every pocket of my social corner. I'm really eager to see culturally what this does, because I think it's going to be massive, Brad. And hopefully
Yeah.
we will be every fan of Stranger Things. They will tune in to our podcast, and we will be their go-to source for recaps and predictions and all that is forthcoming. More details very soon.
Yeah. The K-pop Demon Hunter stuff. All
K-pop
year
Demon
this
Hunter.
year is like,
Yes, there you go.
I completely forgot about Tyson Paul. That was this year. I feel like that was last year. It's
Huge.
crazy.
Yeah, Netflix has had a really successful year in that respect.
Yeah. Yeah. They've been putting out a lot. God's honest truth too is Stranger Things is why I kept the subscription this long. Is there was a moment where I'm like, why do I have this? I have it for Stranger Things. I'm getting everything else I need on the other platforms. And then suddenly it's like, well, that's really good. Yeah, that's really good too. Oh, they had the show I like.
Don't leave yet. Yeah, season 5 just around the corner. It's Wednesday.
And now I'm in.
48 hours away.
Now they have so much good content on there. I'm like, I don't know that I can give you up, Netflix. Please stick with it though, and stop dropping seasons in the middle of a series run, because I want to watch. And speaking of watching, Tyler, 2 most important words in GI.
Steph watch.
Come on now. Ain't nothing changed, Brad. It's time for Steph Watch. This is one of the most important Steph Watches that we have had in a minute. And that is because there's a huge match going down this weekend. I'm going to quote directly from my notes. I want to preface this by saying I was emotional when I wrote these notes following Monday Night Raw. That Jezebel, Nikki Bella, ruined our opportunity. The Stephanie Vaquer interview we were promised on Raw. Now, at least we got a Steph Times Square Instagram photo shoot. This is very good. It's going down this weekend in San Diego. Vaquer versus Bella for the Women's World Championship. La Primera will win. She must win. And I'm excited to see the match.
Yeah, I have nothing to add. Stephanie Vaquer is going to be on a card. That's it. That's all I needed.
That's the time we're on.
Yeah,
you know how we do it around here. She's got to win. I'm really excited.
Speaking of Survivor Series, just around the corner, Tyler. We have less to say on this one, I think, and that wasn't just a suggestion. That was.
I sure hope so.
Yeah.
As of this recording, 4 matches have been announced for this card. Brad, we have, of course, Stephanie Vaquer versus Nikki Bella. We have John Cena defending his Intercontinental Championship against the hometown hero, Dominic Mysterio. And then, of course, the men's and women's War Games matches, respectively. Women's War Games, Team Rhea Ripley. I think we would say Team Rhea Ripley at this point versus Team Becky Lynch. And then we all / Team Kabuki Warriors, really. And then we also have Team Cody Rhodes versus Team Vision. There's a lot happening. Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and Cody Rhodes are on the same team. AJ Lee is in the women's match, joining Rhea Ripley and company. This came together in relatively quick fashion, and I think it was rather successful. I don't know off the top of my head what the house is going to be, but I know tickets have been moving. My recollection is tickets have been moving pretty steadily. And to add this star power to one of WWE's signature PLEs makes all the sense. I am excited for this show. I hope they at least add a 5th match to this card, but I think this is going to be really entertaining. And I think, like I said, it came together really well. How about you?
I don't know that they need a 5th match. Think 45 minutes each for the War Games matches. And then the John Cena Dominic Mysterio match will probably be 10 minutes, but it'll be 35 minutes of entrances, and then maybe more, plus interview time, and God knows what else happens. Stephanie Vaquer and Nikki Bella, it'll be the kind of the same, probably a 10-minute match with an hour and a half of stuff in between. So they've been shooting for like a 3-hour thing, right? Like it hasn't been 4. They've been closer to 3.5, 3 hours. So
Right.
If those War Games matches go on pretty long because they are timed and they don't start until everybody's in there. So it's gonna take a while. It's blood and guts, but less guts and blood. So, but we might get some.
Indeed.
We might get some.
Who do you think's winning these matches? I think we agree. La Primera's beating Nikki Bella. What about the other three? Cena retains.
I don't know who's winning. I know that we get to see Io Sky in a trash can more than likely. So that's exciting. John Cena versus Dominic Mysterio. Where's this taking place?
San Diego.
Mm-hmm. I have no idea. What I can say is like Dominic Mysterio makes a lot of sense to win in that spot because John Cena made it a point to say you could beat me almost any other time. There's a chance that you could do it, but not here, not in Boston. Well, now he's in San Diego. Now you're in my hometown, right, and you can't beat me here. But it would also be really funny for him to be like, you can't beat me here. Maybe in any other town, but not here, not in San Diego. And do it like that. And have Cena drop. But you run the risk of him getting booed in his last run in another city. I don't know that you want to do that to John Cena either. So I don't know. Well, I don't know. Stephanie Vaquer is winning. John Cena is the most likely to lose. As far as who wins the other matches, I don't know. I don't really care. Like the men's match, I care less about than the women's match. There's these people that have been feuding with the Vision, except for Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes has been just feuding with Drew McIntyre, really. Roman's been feuding with Brock, I guess. It just feels like they needed to fill it out a little bit, to throw them in there. So right. I don't love that part. There's just people in there to be in there to fill out the group. And
of course
that bothers me a little bit.
And you're putting them on the poster. You're putting Roman on the poster, Brock on the poster.
And there's nothing wrong with that. And you get Brock paired with Paul Heyman again, plus the Vision.
Right.
And then you got Brock and Bronze. And that makes sense. Like it makes sense. I just don't know that it necessitates a War Games match other than
no. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. Exactly. Right.
It's not getting to that level of the Sammy Uso turn. And that is my expectation now for these. And it's just not gonna happen.
Yeah, it's not reaching that. No, not at all.
It was KO, right? Like they tried to get him to kill KO.
It was, yes. That's exactly right. Your memory is incredibly accurate. Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, and even just the idea of recycling Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar, even if it's just for 2 weeks, is not something I am particularly interested in. But if I had to pick, I would love. What would I love to see versus what's going to happen? I'm picking Team Rhea to win for the women's match. I would. Lash. This is such a great spot.
I was going to say Lash Legend getting a pin here would be.
Yes, I would love Team Lash to get the win, but I'm going to go Team Rhea. And then on the men's side, see, this is just you know how we overthink things as wrestling fans. I'm thinking, okay, if Team Rhea, if the babyfaces win the women's match, then certainly the villains have to win the men's War Game match. I really do think the Vision are going to get the win. I think they need it as a group, particularly sans Seth. I don't want to see Logan Paul win generally ever, nor Brock at this point. But I think the Vision are going to get the W, and I think Team Rhea gets the dub there. And I'll agree with you. I say Dominic gets his IC title back.
Do you think who if the Vision wins, who pins who?
Ooh. I'm gonna say this might be worthy of a hot take tie. Braun Breaker pins Cody Rhodes.
That's exactly what I was thinking. That was exactly what I was thinking. Yeah, Braun
salute
Breaker
emoji
pins
to you,
Rhodes.
my brother.
Set that match up.
Yes,
That's
there we go.
you could put that
There
could
it
be the
is.
Rumble match if you want it
That's closing the
like
show.
that.
There it is.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, without a doubt. So yeah, great. I'm glad we agree on that one. That's exactly who I was thinking. That made me really incredibly happy. Now, we talked about every single thing in the history of time in wrestling this week, but I know there's a few things. Tyler, what did we miss?
This is true. I will keep it very Arizona specific for my final words on this episode. Brad, what did we miss? Arizona men's basketball is back, like back. After picking up big wins over reigning champs Florida, also defeating UCLA and most recently UConn in Connecticut. Our Wildcats are ranked number 2 in the nation. Let's heckin' go. And then on the football side of things, you may have heard of this rivalry, this game referred to as the Territorial Cup between the Arizona Wildcats and the Arizona State Sun Devils. Well, that goes down in Tempe on Friday night. It is sold out. Both teams are 8-3, and each squad has something to prove. My official prediction, U of A 34, ASU 31.
Wow.
That's all I got. What did we miss?
Good bandwidth in Glendale. I will say that the Phoenix Suns pulling off a comeback in the Cup tourney. Good Lord, that was crazy. It was like 4 minutes or something, or 2 minutes. I can't remember what it was. It was
I was watching that
impossibly
live.
short amount of time.
Absolutely nice. Colin
Yeah,
Gillespie
it's
for the win.
crazy. Similarly, the ASU women's basketball team, I saw the end of that game where it was basically you stole the ball from your teammate, heaved up a prayer, and banked in a game-winning buzzer-beating shot. Absolutely crazy. Sports is so much fun. I wish I watched it more. I never have time. And then what's not back, a couple of things. The 1,000 teachers in Arizona who have quit teaching since July. We talked about this before. The professional degrees, these professional degrees currently listed as non-professional degrees, doesn't mean no funding. It just means far less. Nursing, accounting, social work, physical therapy, audiology, speech language pathology, physician assistant, architecture, education. Education is no longer considered a professional degree for those pursuing it that need to take out federal loans. What do they all have in common? They're all mandatory reporters. Now, out of the 1,000 or so resignations, there are 1,400 completely unfilled positions in Arizona. 4,000 of those positions are filled, or 4,000 other positions are filled by subs. For context, because they think there's the 1,400 completely unfilled positions. It's close. There are about 42,000 students in TUSD, and there are about 1,600 total teachers in TUSD. We're talking about 42 to 43,000 students currently don't have a teacher. And that's the thing that I was thinking about today. The other thing is that title 4 funding. I have no idea if I have a job next year because the funding that actually pays for arts education is just currently non-existent for the following school year. And I don't know that there's a plan. So something that I've heard frighteningly little about. So I had to re-up and renew that English cert to make sure that I have a spot to slide back into when the axe drops. But I know I'm not going to be running the auditorium for free. I can tell you that.
Period.
That's it.
Yeah, I need to process that, my friend. This is such a scary time that we live in for so many reasons, and yet I am grateful for so much, including you, including this here podcast, and I'm grateful for Thanksgiving break. We got Stranger Things, yeah. we got wrestling. I know that we are going to have a lot to talk about next week, but before then, again, please do follow us at GIPod19 for exclusive show updates, including information about our Stranger Things series and much more. We are so grateful for you. Thank you for tuning into this very special episode, and we will see you next time. Gimmick Infringement is a part of 19 Media Group. You can listen to us on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or wherever you find podcasts. You can also find us on YouTube via the 19 Media Group channel. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share.